On this channel, $1 Million Made Easy, I love to run numbers for people. I got this request. Individual says he's 34 years old. He has 155,000 saved up. So what we do on this channel, we run numbers for people. Just give me your beginning balance and how much you want to add a month. He said he's going to add $200 a month. And he wants to know where he might be in 30 years. He asked the question, am I doing all right? The stats say so, but a lot of days it doesn't feel like it. Why do you feel like that? Because the market goes up and then it tanks for a little bit and you panic. But if you just look at the year-end results and go year by year, these are the actual numbers that we use on this channel right here. These are the returns for the S&P 500. There's been bad decades like the 1930, the Depression years, bad decades like the year 2000, really good decades like the 80s and 90s where there was only one down year in the whole decade, the 20 teens where there was only one down year. But we're going to look at all the different variables. If he has 30 years, he's going to cross some of these decades. They might be bad, but they're going to catch some of the good ones. And so we're just going to use the historical numbers for the last 100 years. What we're going to do is update this, and we're going to see just where we would be. Again, he said he isn't going to add any at all. So let's see how the numbers actually would have worked out for the last 100 years. And what we do on this channel is project ahead using the same type numbers. None of them will be the same. But over the next 30 years, he will have put in 227,000, which is $200 a month plus the 155,000 he started with. So we're going to go ahead and update this and see what the 30-year column looks like. Again, 30 years worth of data. 100 years worth of data. We're looking at the 30-year column. Every 30-year period for the last 100 years, beginning with 227,000. The worst case scenario, you would have 2.370 million. This is the actual breakdown. 100% of the time, you'd have over 2 million. 86% of the time, color-coded in blue, you would have over 3 million. And 38% of the time, color-coded in gold, you'd have over $4 million. We can go down through and show you a little bit more of this. This is the 30-year column going down through here. There were some stretches where you had some really good returns, but the worst case scenario is right here, 2.370 million, which is actually 1928 numbers. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down through here. This is year by year going through here. If the returns were like 1924 going forward, it could, of course, again, it's not going to be exact, but this gives us a range. For a 30-year period, this is a summary box. So for 30 years, you have 2.708 million, which is right there. What I did when I updated this calculated for every single year, so we don't have to go down through your 1925 numbers. 30-year column, 3.329. There it is, color-coded in blue. And the worst case scenario is actually 1928. And let's look at 1928 numbers. So you had a whole bunch, you had a really good year initially, but then you had a whole bunch of really down years. But in the end, you ended up with $2.370 million with this scenario, 155,000, putting in $200 a month. Again, that's the worst case scenario. Every other year is more than that. I always look at the worst case scenario, but that's still 10 times what he would have put in. But the median in this column is 3.705. And there's actually a time period, a 30-year period, we have 8.621. So that's the range we talk about. When I ask you to run, when I tell you what we do on this channel, we run the actual historical returns for the last 100 years. We project ahead what similar returns might do. The resulting numbers are simply a possible range. And the range in this case, with this scenario, 155,000, $200, not putting another dime in, will be the range from 2.37 up to 8.621. But we also like to be realistic and take into account inflation. Historically, the inflation rate's been 3%. So what would these amounts have in buying power 30 years from now with a 3% inflation rate? There they are right now. It's 2.370. He'd be just short of a millionaire. Again, folks, this is the worst case scenario. The median 3.705 without a buying power of 1.526. I wonder on the numbers for this individual. You want to know, am I doing all right? Looks like he'd be close to a millionaire with a 3% inflation rate. That's in the worst case scenario in the last 100 years. Those are 1928 numbers, and there they are right there. Again, what we do in this channel is just run it for every single year. You can click on any of these years just to see what the numbers would be, and you can automatically calculates after 30 years, In this case, you'd have 5.950 million if you looked at the 1934 numbers. There it is, 1930, there it is right there, 5.950. But that's what it does, it's calculated for every single year. But that's what we do for people. We run numbers. I want to just encourage him, and he's on a really good path. If he's got 155,000 already saved at age 34 and can put $200 a month in. But that's what we do on this channel. Please consider subscribing. Please share this with your friends and family. Let them know there's a channel out there that will run numbers to give them some idea what might happen in the future. Thanks for watching.